guys, how are you doing?
Fine.
We're fine.
Fresh out the shower after a good show.
Yeah, a bit tired and beaten, but that's normal. Yeah.
It was quite warm there. A bit of sauna, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the show was amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, thank you. It's always a bit difficult to be the first.
Yeah, because there are not all the people came yet.
Yeah.
But
And they were a bit shy. They needed some spanking to get them going. That's for sure.
But step by step.
Yeah.
You warm them up, so maybe now they are not that shy anymore.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
So for who doesn't know Anzillu, would you mind to introduce yourself and give us some biographical hints?
Well, Anzillu was formed after my previous band Inquisitor broke up in 2019, and during the pandemic I put the band together, a lineup together, and we rehearsed some songs and wrote some. I had most of the songs ready before.
For the band.
Yeah, they were supposed to be Inquisitor songs, but I took them with me. Then we wrote a couple more and a bit rearranged them and made them look like ours. And after the pandemic, we went to the Sonic Boom Studios and recorded the album. And then we got the record deal with the US label M30 Audio. And then we had to sit on the album for a year. We got the marketing stuff and promote it. And then we finally got to release it in January this year. And now we're here.
So what can you tell about your debut album? About the songwriting and
I think I was pissed because my previous band broke up, so I wanted to show everybody off, like I can do this again and not fail under the because the other guys from the previous band took off and left me alone, so I kind of have to climb out of that grave. So I wanted to prove everybody wrong, but also I wanted to challenge myself, and because I was left alone, I had the big freedom to do with the songs as I please. So I think that they turned out pretty well. But
it took time. It took time because a lot of the songs, when we first heard them, they were like 90% done. They were almost there, but we had a lot back and forth, and we actually dropped one or two songs. One, yeah. It was okay, but because it
not too good.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It was kind of okay-ish. But come on, if you want to do a good debut, you have to kind of bring your A game immediately. And I think it was like a really big thing because you actually brought Tino from Inquisitor back into the kind of the mix. You had been working with him, and it was really amazing how much the arrangement came to alive in the last month before we went to the studio. It was kind of like you've already heard the song for almost a year. Then you had that, what it was, 2 weekends?
Yeah, we had the pre-production rehearsals with me, the other guitarist Sami,
and Tino.
And Tino as our session drummer for the recording. So we took all the songs apart and built them back up, and that's the final form. We changed a lot of parts and did some arrangement stuff. We took 1 weekend and went over all the songs. And then we went to the studio and just we were like that. Yeah, this is it. We do it like this. But it was a good moment to take that weekend off and work the songs to their full potential.
Yeah. We had the time. We weren't under any pressure, so it made all the sense in the world to spend a bit more.
Well, actually, we had kind of.
Oh yeah, no, well, kinda, but it was self-made. It was self-made in that sense.
Yeah, but we have booked the studio. But 6 weeks before the studio, we had to fire our first drummer and bring in Tino as a session drummer. So we were kind of the rest of the band was like, are we gonna able to do this? But I said that, guys, chill out. This guy can deliver, so you can just kick back and relax. We got this. And when we did the first rehearsal, everybody's eyes kind of lit up, and they was like, yeah, this is gonna work.
Great. So there was a bit of stress, but
yes, we were in a tight spot, but because I knew the dude and we had the songs, I knew that we were gonna be fine and there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
We just had to do a bit of scheduling the rehearsals and speed some things up, but in the most sense, everything was fine. Nothing serious.
And what about the lyrics?
I think you had like 4 songs done lyric-wise, and then I did the rest.
I think it was I wrote 1/3 and you wrote the rest.
Yeah.
Like 2/3.
Yeah, something like that. And we actually had quite a lot of back and forth with them. From my background, because it's in punk and such, so basically it doesn't have to be that structured in that sense. But when you want to bring like really good lyrics, we wanted to like really dive deep into them and carve out the best of it. Because I think what Ex Nihilo, the last song of the album, that took like pretty much the longest because we went back and forth so much.
And then is it 8 minutes?
Yeah, it is 8 minutes.
It's a long one.
Yeah, it is a long one, and like originally it was this like full-blown sci-fi dystopian thing. I was kind of like, you can't really grasp this. It has to be something visceral, something you can really pound your head into and enjoy it as a metal song. So I really enjoyed that,
and also the third time the lyrics had a complete makeover was when we went to record them, when the producers Nino Laurinen gave his touch for the vocal lines. He was a huge help, and that's why we booked him and went to his studio to make this album.
Working with him, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
It was a great thing, but there was a lot of learning. Let's put it like that.
Well,
I had worked
it's
with him.
a learning experience.
Yeah, it is.
I had worked with him in Inquisitor for maybe 4 sessions, but these guys were new, so I had all the workflow down.
For them was new.
For them it was a bit of new school experience.
And it's really interesting because I've been doing DIY punk music all my life, type of a thing, and when you go into that, okay, let's do high level production, it's a very, very different world, because he literally, like mentally, I was wrecked. I was a fucking wreck after the 1 month that it took, because I had to swallow my ego every single session we had, because I had done something. And then he came like, okay, you have an idea, let's go this, let's try that.
Yeah, it's not easy, easy.
No, definitely, because you've been living with that stuff for a year already, and you're kind of like familiar, and you're in a bit of love with them, which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah, in this business, the best thing to do is to kill your darlings.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have, or at least I had to learn that the hard way, so to speak.
At some point you have to do those things, so it was now your chance to experience the bittersweet thing.
Yeah, definitely. But we came out as a better in the end, because I wasn't even able to hear some of the songs in the final form beforehand, before Laurinen gave his like touch to them, because there were let's say like Discordia. I hated that song until the very end we started recording it. I wasn't comfortable with it, because you can hear it. It's a bit more mature. It has that more rock sensibility, etc. But then try to push metal vocals into it. It feels a bit out of place, but we were still able to figure it out, and it works amazingly well.
It's a good song. I think it's the favorite from your album.
A lot of people say that, but I knew the potential, but many people didn't. I was like, just hold your horses. It's gonna work.
And also,
trust me.
Ex Nihilo 8-minute song, but I really enjoy it. It's a good when I'm riding my bike and listen. I have my phone here, so I can listen what happened around and listen to the music. So it's it's a good soundtrack for my riding.
It is, yeah, and it's especially like live. I really enjoy doing it because that's the song when I can like really dive deep into some sort of a character type of thing. Because it's not anymore be a metal singer. It's just do kind of a theater thing or something like that, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's supposed to feel a bit intimidating and creepy in the crowd and be like, what the hell's going on? This is not right at the moment, but it's all part of the like bigger picture.
Yeah. It's like let me say this. Maybe it sounds stupid, but like a mini musical.
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah, it is sort of. It's metal musical.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Today you play here in Pori, MonoMassive. Do you have other gigs coming?
Not currently, but maybe this year.
Yeah.
Some.
And
We should also maybe record some. Not record, but write some new stuff also to leave some space for it.
Yeah, because it's been rather hectic year in that sense. Because we toured like it was 8 shows during February, so every weekend, and then there were some off weekends during the spring, and it's been kind of hectic in that sense. But because we don't have like a full day drummer at the moment, so it's kind of for the rest of the year. It's kind of like see what happens. Hopefully new music, hopefully more gigs, but let's see.
And talking about the album again, you receive a lot of great reviews.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yes. I was a bit of surprised.
How was your reaction reading all those?
Well, in a way, I was surprised. The other side of me was surprised, but the other side was like, this is how it's supposed to be, and this is what I expect it to be.
Yeah.
I know it's a good album, so I was like, I would be stunned if the reviews were bad.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I was positively surprised that I was right.
Yeah.
And the critics agree with me.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to kind of go through them because you get to see your music from another point of view. Because there was a lot of references to the kind of, let's say, singers or bands that we didn't even think about. That you might hear that kind of stuff in our music.
Yeah.
And it was really eye-opening in that sense, and kind of, well, I never thought that I had some sort of sound similar to Creator Singer or something like that, but apparently that's the thing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what people have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a different point of view of what you think normally.
And because at that point when the music's released, it's out of your hands, it's not yours anymore, it's whatever anybody wants to make of it.
So you are also a photographer.
Yes.
And you do concert photos.
Yes,
and
I also shot and directed all except Mental Graveyard, which we hired another. Yeah. I cut and edited it, but another guy shot it for us.
Yeah.
But the rest of the music videos I did all by myself.
Yeah. And when you are on the stage, do you think about the way that you may came out in the photos if the photographers are there? Since you are a photographer,
not constantly, but if I see in the front row, I see a camera pointing at me, I might pose for it, and I think about it to some extent.
Yeah.
You also have to focus on the songs, but if you see somebody in your area that is and he or she is clearly shooting for you, then I start to think of it.
Kiitoksia. Hyvä meno oli. Helvetin hyvä.
Because it's different when you are in the photo pit and when you are on the stage.
Yes. But I think it's good to think this kind of stuff because people come to see a show. You have to look good on the stage and give people what they want. So
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good practice that way.
And the connection.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sometimes there are bands that have not that much of
static
presence on the stage. They album are amazing. The album are amazing, but then on the stage,
they're not much of
it's a bit
entertainers.
It's a bit,
but that's the thing, because it's always part of the music. If
And
you
that's
do
also
live.
and that's also a skill that you have to practice.
Yeah, that is true.
There's few people who can do it naturally, but for the most people, they have to.
something to learn.
It's a skill that you have to practice.
And also,
And
I think it's not easy. I don't know. I never been. I have been on a stage, but nothing big. So I never thought about that.
But it is actually. This is actually a funny thing. A friend of mine, or actually a spouse of mine, when we were in this year's Tuska, for example, and we watched Arch Enemy. How fucking good does Alyssa look? Even when she's screaming her ass off, she looks amazing. And we had a bit of a discussion and asked a few vocal coaches, and they were like, yeah, she practices that. That's a thing that she learns in front of a mirror doing the songs, and then when you're on stage you have that amazing presence that you can
and
really...
talking about Tuska and talking about singers, also Ginger, Tatiana. It was the first time that I saw them live at Tuska, and after the show I went to my boyfriend and I told him for a moment I became lesbian because her energy on the stage was next level.
That happened. That happened with her.
Well, it was something interesting. So what a musician on the stage can give to the people, it's sometimes it doesn't need that much on the stage. Just the person.
That's true. But I think it's also a big thing because, like, the pandemic, everything shut off, and I think there's a lot of like reinvigorating like energy in bands when they're doing live. They really push it. They really want to be there, give their best. Because once again, Tuska this year, I saw In Flames after like a decade. I saw them like 2003 or 4 when they're in their prime, and I had this image that as a live band they've kind of like toned down. But heck no, they really brought out a show, and I was like, I was again teenager.
I was there in the middle jumping.
Jumping
like,
and singing all the songs and remembering, fuck, they're good still.
That's something. But what's on plan for the future for the band? Writing new songs?
And hopefully finding a permanent drummer.
That's the biggest
thing. That would be a great thing.
And writing some new stuff. That would be the main focus next.
And what are your main influences?
There are lots of...
Too many.
I think we all... I think we all come from like really different places, like inspiration-wise, because like Sami has a thing with Japanese funk music and stuff like that, and is really digging deep into it. I come from like punk and electronic music, which I really enjoy, and it's been my thing for like decades. I don't really know about you, because it's the like classic thrash albums and stuff like that, but there's something more, I think.
I think that back in days when I did with you and the other guys of Inquisitor or the interview, I may ask you may have answered before, so maybe people can go and check. I don't know if it was 2017 maybe, I'm not sure.
But now my influences are it has to be a bit catchy, but also brutal as hell. I think the stuff that we are going to write next is gonna be even faster and heavier than now.
I like it.
It's kind of
more
fingers crossed.
Introduce more death metal stuff and scale out the thrash, like put down the thrash influences and bring out more the death influences. That's how, at least at this moment, I would probably how I see it.
Well, we have done with this interview. Thank you so much
Yes.
for your
Yep.
time.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure. Would you like to say something to your fans, our reader viewers?
Our first album, Ex Nihilo, is out now. Do yourself a favor and go listen to it. And even if you want to support the band, buy the album.